Hey guys, welcome back to another Dota Fundamentals video, and today we've got 8 tips for playing Magnus the Magnosaurus, and yes, that is his actual in-game title. Tip number 1, and this is fairly well known, but I'm just going to get it out there. After you blink into RP, but before you actually cast, click to turn in the direction you're going to skewer. Magnus will turn as he casts RP, meaning you won't have to walk around your disabled enemies, and can just immediately skewer them back to your team. This saves a lot of time, and it really should be muscle memory if you want to consider yourself a Magnus player. And while we're talking about reverse polarity, here's tip number 2. Just because you landed a good ulti does not mean you have to cast skewer. If your teammates are in range, hold your skewer. You're just going to mess up your teammates' ability to follow up and make them mad at you. I know you want that extra damage, disable, and a little slow, but seriously, it's rarely worth it. Don't fuck your team. Third RP tip, just use it. Stop holding it. Just use RP. I know you want to get that 3+ hero ulti, but you know who else knows that? The other team. It's much more effective to use RP on cooldown on a single core hero than to use it once in 15 minutes to get their whole team. Tip 4. Everyone wants to skewer an enemy under your tower and lane, but they don't actually need to be behind you to achieve this. Enemy within 145 radius around Magnus will be moved in front of him and dragged along the path. If an enemy is just out of reach, you can also shockwave first to drag them in closer and follow up with a skewer. Getting a feel for this range is a core Magnus skill. Speaking of shockwave, the 0.2 seconds pseudo stun it provides while pulling an enemy can be used at the right time to disrupt enemy escape spells. This might not seem like much, but it's going to secure you a lot of kills you wouldn't otherwise get. This will also pull Templar Assassin out of Meld, and any hero out of Shadow Amulet. Tip 6, and just to get this out of the way, yes, skewer destroys trees. Very useful. Okay, our final 2 tips concern Empower. First of all, this is an absolutely huge farm booster for any melee hero, yourself included. Don't be afraid to max it first on mid or safe lane Magnus, and farm like crazy. The plus damage Empower provides only increase base damage and damage from stats, not flat damage, so it's going to be really good on heroes that build stat-based items like SNY, Skadi, and Diffusal Blade. Ranged heroes of course won't get the splash damage, but it's still a pretty big buff. And for tip 8, just like Medusa or Bristleback, mid Magnus can take ancient stacks. All he needs is treads and a few levels, say level 8-10, to easily take a quad stack ancient camp. So supports, help your boy out. Thanks guys, and by the way, when it comes to these tips and trick videos, I'm trying to keep them fairly intermediate in skill level, and also as metagame independent as possible, mostly for longevity's sake. For that reason, I'm going to try to avoid talking about roles, skill, and item builds as they fluctuate too much. Let me know if you'd like me to cover some more basic gameplay or some more metagame relevant stuff below. For now, I'm just going to keep on cranking these videos out. See you next time.